5 unsolved celebrity murders and deaths. Fame often comes with a privilege that not everyone gets to have. Apparently, when you're a movie star, a celebrity, or a performer, your possible murder would likely be put in a high-priority status. It is understood that the public would have an incessant demand for information surrounding the passing of their favorite person. However, some celebrity deaths and murders are just simply so bizarre, with little to no evidence that could help crack the case. As such, they end up becoming an enigma that would forever demand an answer. Take a look at these 5 baffling cases of unsolved celebrity murders and deaths. Number 5. Brittany Murphy. Brittany Murphy was well remembered for her roles in films like Clueless, Girl Interrupted, Just Married, and 8 Mile. The news of her sudden death in 2009 shocked everyone, especially her fans. The Atlanta native was only 32 when she died. Authorities ruled her death to have resulted from a combination of pneumonia, iron deficiency, and drugs which were found in her system. Interestingly, both of Murphy's parents were quick to point at each other for being involved in their daughter's death. Initial investigations indicate a case of poisoning. What happened next was even more unsettling.
The husband of actress Brittany Murphy has been found dead.
5 months after the star's passing, her husband, Simon Monjack, died for the same reasons: pneumonia and severe anemia. There's still so much to look into regarding the couple's death. The latest findings came through in 2013, indicating the presence of certain heavy metals found in Murphy's hair. This same substance is apparently being used in rat poisons. Number 4. Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, whether on screen or behind the camera, was a formidable martial artist who the world couldn't believe to have perished just like that. On July 20th, 1973, Lee didn't show up for dinner. His body was later discovered in the apartment of a friend in Hong Kong. He was just 32 and was at the height of his career. Authorities indicated cerebral edema, caused by an allergic reaction to Equagesic, a painkiller. He was given this prescription to help with his body pains, but instead, the medicine plunged him into a coma he never woke up from. Theories swirling around Lee's death included the possibility of heat stroke. It was believed that he had removed the sweat glands in his armpits. There were also rumors saying the medication was intentionally used to kill the superstar. As to who would want him dead, fingers were pointing out to the Triad, a Hong Kong-based organized crime group who might have had some vested interests in the actor. Number 3. Tupac Shakur and Notorious B.I.G. The deaths of those 2 legendary rap figures have always been tied to the fierce rivalry between the East Coast and the West Coast hip-hop groups. This bloody feud came to prominence because of a personal conflict between Tupac Shakur and Christopher the Notorious B.I.G. Wallace. Although Tupac was born in New York, he lived most of his life on the West Coast in California, and thus became its avatar. Meanwhile, Biggie Smalls embodied the entirety of East Coast. Both brilliant artists would end up victims of this war. In September 1996, Tupac was leaving a sports event in Las Vegas when he was shot 4 times in a drive-by shooting. He didn't succumb to his fatal gunshot wounds for 6 days, but later died of respiratory failure and cardiac arrest. The lyricist was 25. Merely 6 months after Shakur's tragic murder, the New York-based rapper was shot multiple times in a similar drive-by shooting fashion. Unlike his rival's terribly drawn-out death, Wallace almost immediately died from his wounds. He was only 24. Both murders remained unsolved even to this day. Number 2. Natalie Wood. Natalie Wood, the critically acclaimed star in movies like Miracle on 34th Street, A Rebel Without a Cause, and Splendor in the Grass, died on November 29, 1981. She was only 43, and in her initial death certificate, it was ruled out as a death by accidental drowning. 30 years after this tragic incident, the details of the certificate changed into death as a result of undetermined factors. The story goes that the Russian-American actress was on a yacht with her husband, Robert Wagner, and friend, actor Christopher Walken. Her body was later found the next morning floating in a cove in Catalina Islands. According to reports, Wood and Wagner had a heated argument the night before. In 2011, Wagner was freed from any suspicion, but then a renewed investigation in 2012 gave rise to questions regarding the bruises found on Wood's body. So far, the presiding investigative bodies haven't filed any charges against Wagner or other suspected individuals. Needless to say, people still think Wagner killed Woods. And number 1, Bobby Fuller. Way back in the 60s, rock musician Bobby Fuller and his namesake band, Bobby Fuller 4, was basking in immense fame and success. Their hit single, I Fought the Law, was dominating the airwaves.
I fought the law and the law won.
Things were looking up for him and the group when one morning, in July 18th of 1966, Fuller got out from his apartment. He was later found dead in his car's front seat with bruises all over his body, which were also doused in gasoline. Responding police officers quickly ruled the scene as suicide. The crime scene was reportedly cleared of any indicative items, such as a gas canister, which was immediately thrown out without dusting some prints. Authorities also opted not to question anyone about the incident. Meanwhile, the bruises on his body were blamed to the gas vapors and the summer heat. Fuller's mysterious death was profiled in the Unsolved Mysteries show. Interestingly, right after the particular segment aired, the man's death was officially rewritten from being a suicide to an accident. The case remained unsolved even today. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.